of institutions of learning and here present, the Dorian members of the diplomatic corps, religious, traditional, women, business, and civil society leaders here present, members of the focus, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am honored and happy to join you in this ceremony marking the launch of the dialogue on peace, security, and development in Liberia. Permit me at this point to bring you warmest felicitations from His Excellency Dr. George Manuel Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, and the government and people of Liberia, and to express deep gratitude to you, the organizers, for this great initiative aimed at contributing to conflict prevention and risk mitigation in the run-up to the presidential and legislative elections in October 2023 and beyond. Considering the deal of enthusiasm and very high expectations of Liberians and all stakeholders for the conduct and outcome of the 2023 elections, it is very important that an effort aimed at mitigating conflict in the country, in particular, in the sub-region in general, be hailed as a positive initiative that must be fully supported. We assure you that the government of Liberia stands with you to the fullest as you embark on this exhausting task. Peace is the foundation upon which the superstructure of security and development are built. Security and development cannot flourish without peace, and I doubt whether there can be peace without security. This means that peace and security are the fulcrum of societal progress, development, growth, and modernization. Being a former peace ambassador, His Excellency President Dr. Weah is fully supportive of any and all efforts geared towards making the country peaceful, secure, and stable. Liberia and Liberians have endured long years of violence, instability, and insecurity. Painstakingly, Liberia and the Liberian people have experienced impediments in growth and development as a result of our protracted civil crisis. We must continue to uphold our vow as a country and people never to pursue the path of violence, no matter how tempting and provocative the situation may be. Peace is and must remain the irreversible path for Liberia and the Liberian people. The planning and implementation of these dialogues are within the framework of practical preventive diplomacy, which we believe will accrue far greater dividends over mediation, negotiation, conciliation, and settlement. This makes the dialogues on peace, security, and development more than worthwhile and significant. We are of the strongest conviction that as you have taken this giant step, the Liberian people will match your steps and actions to continuity on the show of peace and stability. On the key subject of the elections of October 2023 in Liberia, we wish to reaffirm the unwavering commitment and preparedness of His Excellency Dr. George Manawia, President of the Republic of Liberia, and the government of Liberia to ensure the conduct of the free, fair, transparent, peaceful, credible, and inclusive elections in keeping with international standards and best practice. The democratic culture which Liberians have suffered for so dearly and which have been planted, nurtured, must in all certain terms absolutely not be allowed to be disrupted. Our democratic course as a country and people is absolutely irreversible. As a matter of fact, some of the most intractable crises we have had over the years have been sparked by outcomes of elections. As a government, we will ensure that the democratic process will not be drafted. But this will also require the shared vision and fullest cooperation and support of all Liberians and political parties and political actors in Liberia, no matter their individual and or institutional political ideology and persuasion. It is incumbent upon us, both the government and opposition, to at all times protect our democratic heritage as the best guarantee for the peace, security, and development of Liberia and the Liberian people. By this engagement of launching the dialogues, our bilateral, trilateral, and multilateral partners and friends are already supporting the necessary imperative cause for peace, security, and development in Liberia. We urge them to continue their active engagement and support to further enhance and strengthen our peace, security, stability, and democracy. Let all of us, be you in government, opposition, the private and or public sector, be reminded that in this day and age in Liberia, ascendancy at all times to national leadership in our country can only be and must only be at the ballot box. And moreover, can only be and must only be determined by the electorates, who are the Liberian people. We must at all times settle for nothing less. The relentless desire of the Liberian people for the sustenance of peace, security, stability, development, and democracy far outweighs beyond measure the quest of any one Liberian or individual to ascend to leadership at the expense of the Liberian people. Hence, absolutely no more must we as a nation and people compromise our indispensable peace, security, stability, development, and democracy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, these dialogues are expanded and inclusive with assurance that nothing will be left uncovered and that no question will be left unanswered. I wish you all very fruitful and successful deliberations, and that the outcome of these dialogues will have profound positive impact on Liberia's peace, security, development, and democracy now and in the future. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I now declare these dialogues on peace, security, and development formally launched. Thank you.
Another round of applause. Thank you, Your Excellency. As a way of ensuring that voices amplified as far as science. Sit down for Q&A. With special needs, opportunity to ask a few questions. Say we may try that opportunity to members of representatives here at least to ask a question. I also want to inform our people that sorry, apologies for that. Okay. So we have a microphone here just in case somebody wants to ask a question. You can raise your hands up. They can bring the microphone to you. If you can ask your question. So do not feel shy. Please raise up your hands and ask the question. This is the time. You have opportunities again when these dialogue series, start. We can say I started already. So please ask your questions. And afterwards, we will have light refreshment, just so you're informed. After the program, there will be light refreshment. Oh, yes. Okay, we have one person who's raised on his hand. Yes,
I want to say thank you very much for this opportunity giving us as persons with disabilities. My name is B. Willa Eliasia. It is not a question, but a comment and an appeal to the panelists and those that are the planners of this particular program. In conflict and conflict resolution, we know that people with disabilities are usually the most affected. And having included us in this program this afternoon, this is my appeal on behalf of persons with disabilities. There are people here with eyes that cannot see, people with ears and mouth that cannot hear speak, people with hands, their hands cannot be used, and people with legs, their legs cannot be used. We are here to speak on behalf of these marginalized section. So when the representatives of ECOWAS was speaking, she gave a specific on women and children. And I would like to add women and children, including persons with disabilities. When this, as it is being launched today, as this dialogue is being launched today, our appeal is that We have members of our segment in all of the 15 political subdivisions of this country. We are appealing that they be a part of these dialogues that are taking place, that will be taking place over the months in these political subdivisions, because we are part and parcel of this one country. Whatever effect, whether the political class, whatever, it also affects us. So we appeal, that as they go on with these dialogues, so that persons with disabilities can be highly taken into consideration, because as they talk about job, when the first speaker was talking, he spoke about job. People who have papers, who have gone to school, have papers but are doing nothing. Persons with disability are of no exception. Some of us have obtained higher education, but you find out that in this society, people just think that people with disability are to be asking for handout. But as persons with disability, we feel that for now, the idea of charity should be, minimized, should be suspended. And for now, we accept, empowerment and inclusion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and those are very powerful points you just raised, and I'm sure those points that have been taken to see what the dialogue series will. It's also open to members of the legislature, all those who are here, just in case there is a present issue we want to raise, but also to ask. I see a hand. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Stress out that when you give the issue of accent to learn from then it brought to my mind when I was studying or reading one of my research works. I get to realize when I was studying, when I was reading on diplomacy, and then looking at the characteristic of diplomacy, I underlined the expansion of geographical scope. On the expansion of geographical scope, if there is a negative aspect of the expansion of geographical scope, it sometimes leads to interstate conflicts. Yeah. I said I'm James Victor Jr. Yeah. It leads to interstate conflicts. And there are reasons. For example, historical boundaries do not correspond with geographical boundaries. States are convergent or greedy and want to take all resources as theirs. Internal conflict sometimes lead to external conflict. And looking at Liberia, when discussing land issue, many of the people in Liberia will say, "Oh, my mother farm was way back on the other side. So at this reason, this area belongs to me." At the end result, they will start selling. So my recommendation to government, I'm appealing to the government to use the cartographic department of the Ministry of Lands, Mass and Energy to see to it that all areas within the 15 political sub-region be given map so that those land issues can be avoided. Because if so, it could degenerate to another problem that could be more catastrophic. So I've urged the Liberians who are in the constant habit of being very convergent or greedy, taking all more land, I think it should be curtailed. On the other hand, government should also be very vigorous because they act to see to it that things are done accordingly. It will help to augment the process in our country. so as not to go back to the dark days in our country. Thank you very much.
All right.
So that's what I'm doing. So happy. And when it comes to this January, people always left behind because of their inability to hear or speak. People always blame that on their disability. So as parents who are here doing this, often the preservation dialogue together should always include that people salvation temperature as well as people with disabilities as Police just said. We have many categories of disabilities in Liberia because of our job. Many of the disabled people are on the street there because of those jobs. Some of them they go to a hospital, they are of the right to health. So disabled people also think that they face serious problem. It's not just that most problem, but we have the basic topics that are like people that so government really need to look at them as well as because of this government education that people are designed to want quality education. So we have seen temperature and we provide the services of the agriculture. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, when you have it, disabled persons there are deaf, she cannot speak, but she spoke through sign language, and the interpreter was already here to interpret what she has said. Sky, we are right here at the Memorial Centennial Pavilion here on Ashmore Street, Monrovia.
Human beings here or all the country. Even when it's spread in the country, the indigenous people who got them people that will be part of here, got them.
Asking if these dialogues, these things that we got today, to be expanded and if the indigenous pictures, like anything a lot about something for my birthday that is not part of the Senate or community. And or not because take advantage of someone who have a case for her name and for some or reason they doesn't want to go to court. What is the issue? I mean, what is the penalty that the House of Representatives or Senate will give to the or citizens? If it is something and also want to name, they want to take it by force. I have an issue with one.
All right. Questions and answers.
Okay, I'm sure one of the lawmakers have an opportunity to
All right. Senator Darius DeLong. is about to answer maybe that question that was asked.
Article 44 of the Constitution settles this matter. It says matter arising between members of the legislature and non-members of the legislature that are not acceptable for the legislature shall not be entertained. If a lawmaker takes advantage, say, to take somebody's land or claim somebody's land, the person can go to court and that lawmaker is not a problem. Thank you.
Auntie, I've already answered that lady's question about men. So now is Senator.
So, Jackson, sir, before you speak, I just want to, reasons caveat that today is the formal launch, and I know there's a desire for a lot of ask questions on different subjects. But like you heard His Excellency, German ambassador, he was listing the different areas, the different points. Of course, these dialogues will progress over the months. So some of these issues we are raising are also included. So let's just be careful that we don't expand beyond this, because this is the launch and we'll have the opportunity to have our say as the time.
Thank you very much. My name is Senator Smith. And as we launch this
County,
and we begin as national stakeholders in the catalog issues to guarantee peace, security in our country. I want to urge the diplomatic community, the regional bodies, EU, ECOWAS, let's take note of something. This country lacks system. It's a source of position. We should be fair to each other. What makes our process of obtaining power so intensive, sometimes at a bloody tussle, is because the losers are not at the mercy of the law, but at the mercy of the winner. And so we fight over the power, because the winner is the owner of the country and not the law. Secondly, we refuse to implement what was agreed upon at a specific regional organization. Every one of you that present here today, your individual countries or regional bodies, play a major role to save Liberians or Liberia from Liberia. But equally so, it is not right for us to keep quiet in the name of democracy when before your regional organizations, before you in your presence, documents that we sign to guarantee peace and stability of this country, when we are ignoring them in the name of politics. That should correct us. Because for every time something of such happens, when the country goes back to confusion, then we turn to your assistance. So you should not be spectator in silence when we are going wrong. In this country, we don't have state security, we have regime security. We must know that. In this country, it is what the president or the incumbent government thinks should happen, but it's not what the system says should happen. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. So we will entertain two more questions.